Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited about today's guest. Today I have Todd Maguire, a former Queensland police officer. I spent 2 years undercover inside the criminal underworld. And this incredible story it was released in February 26, was it, this year? Yeah. This book, Donny. And Todd, welcome, mate. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, yeah, look at all the crowd there.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. What an intro. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Mate, you've come down from Brisbane today.
I did, yeah.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate you coming down.
Yeah.
So you were referred through a mutual friend of ours.
Yeah, the mayor of Coomera, they call him, yes.
You're not going to let him live on this one, mate. No, so Nathan from Mob actually reached out to me and said, mate, he actually spoke you up. So you got to get him on. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Mate, this sounds so interesting and I'm so keen to just dig into this. So, mate, let's get into it. Where do we start this? Where are you from originally?
I'm from Brisbane.
You're from Brisbane?
North side of Brisbane.
Yeah.
And, I suppose the story goes that I lived a perfect upbringing in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Push bike, that whole thing of, leaving first thing in the morning and coming home when the lights are on.
Yeah.
And you just fend for yourself. You didn't wear a helmet, you didn't wear shoes, you just left for the day and you got up to all sorts of mischief.
Yeah.
And it was fucking awesome.
Okay.
Just such a good way to live your life, in those years.
Yeah.
Mum and Dad were together for 55 years, older brother, younger sister, had almost like a perfect upbringing.
Yeah.
I went to Padua College in Brisbane, played a lot of footy.
Yeah.
And, life was bloody good. I just pinching myself going, how good's this,
Yeah.
I didn't realise how good it was until I joined the cops later and saw some of the dysfunctional families, and it made me appreciate it even more.
Wow.
So, I've really appreciated, the sacrifices that my family made for us three. So, yeah, mate, I think pretty happy with how it sort of started.
So when did you get into the cops? Like when did that happen?
Yeah, well, I finished school in 1989.
Yeah.
And I didn't start in the cops until I went to the academy in 96.
Okay.
So I still had 6 years of a headless chook.
Yeah.
Trying to find out what I wanted to do.
Yeah. So you're still pretty young though, going into the cops. I was 23 when 23. I sort of went in there. Because I finished school when I was like 16 or 17. So right.
Because it was a year younger than what it is now, but then I was a year younger than everyone else. So I remember, I definitely finished at 16. So
okay.
And fake IDs were all the rage, and they worked, especially at schoolies. Yeah. I loved it. I played footy. My dad was a footy legend. He played for the Rabbitohs and played for Brisbane Brothers, and he's an absolute legend. So it was natural that me and my brother were going to do it.
Right.
We played a lot of sport growing up.
Yeah.
And my brother, he was like a legend in the Queensland Cup, playing for Brothers, and went down for Parramatta for a while. And he was a good footy player, and mate, he was a gun. He's still talked about in the Queensland Cup as, he had magic hands and a boot. So he was a 5'8", and I was a centre or a back rower.
Okay.
And I couldn't pass for shit. All I could do was tackle.
Yeah.
That was me.
Okay.
That was it. And totally different people.
Yeah, right. And when did you give that up? Did you?
Well, there was a few things. There's one funny story where 17, I sort of must have had a little bit. I don't know. Well, maybe it just might have been my dad's name. Who knows? But got invited down to North Sydney for a trial.
Okay.
And I was 17. It was 1990, and there was four of us in a bloody in the backyard of Kelly Egan, Gary Larson, and Barry Mulquin, who were playing for North Sydney, and they put us in tents in the backyard, and it was me and one other fella, and then there was two in the other, and the two that were really good boys stayed in that night, and me and that fella went to King's Cross till 5 a.m. and played up like a second-hand mower. Right. 10 o'clock, North Sydney Oval, trials. I still say that even if I'd had a 10-hour sleep and good preparation, I may not have made it.
Right.
But I think
you would have had a better crack.
I think I chose my path early in life, having a good time.
Yeah. And how old were you then?
I was 17.
You were 17.
17.
Yeah. Okay. 17, mate. Far out. God.
I know, but Anyway, yeah, so I ended up playing for Brothers in Brisbane and having a great time. You know, it was all through the family. We were all playing.
Yeah.
And my sister was, she was Miss Brothers as well, Miss Brisbane, and, you know, so it was like a really good upbringing. And
Yeah.
it was under 19s and I was playing out at West at Purtell Park and I got my eyeball smashed, eyeball fractured, socket, eyeball lacerated. And, yeah, I was on the bench. Well, that was it. They said, no, you shouldn't play again. You can't see out of one eye.
Right.
I started seeing out of, you know, the peripherals and it was all double.
Okay.
But after that year, I said, nah, stuff it. I'm going to go to Dunk Island. And I went and, you know, threw the bottles up and because Cocktail just came out and I thought I was a bit of a Tom Cruise or a Brian Brown and, you know, I was throwing those ones up. And, yeah, living by Coglin's Law. And, I loved it.
Coglin's Law. Mate, that is a good movie.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Bit
Still
of
to this
Coca,
day, mate. Still to this day,
Bloody
mate.
hell.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that I got the bug on that one. I said, yeah, I'm going up there. And, mate, I had a great time. 18 months on the island. And then I moved from there and went up to Port Douglas. And that's why I got talked into playing footy again. I said, I don't know how my eye is, you know.
Yeah.
So I ended up playing in the Cairns comp for the Mossman Port Douglas Sharks. And it brought my love back for rugby league again. You know, we got belted every game.
Yeah.
But, geez, it was fun.
Yeah.
God, the bus trips.
Yeah.
Magnificent.
Okay.
And mainly because we played at night because of North Queensland. But I made sure that if I was looking that way, I'd always see two things, like two balls. So it'd either be the top one or the bottom one. And I worked out after a while it was always the bottom one. And if I dropped it, I just blamed my eye, you know. But
yeah. Hey, you were strategising, mate. Yeah. One eye, yeah.
Yeah, so I absolutely love, I just wanted to keep playing footy and then I decided to come back down to, I got a promotion at the height at Sanctuary Cove. So I lived at Labrador with a couple of other mates and I ended up playing for the Rang Roosters in 95 and that just got that was it, I'm back.
Yeah.
I was playing A grade.
Yeah.
And I still remember to this day, 95, so what's that, 30-something years ago.
Yeah.
300 to win, 100 to loss. That was pretty good.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. No wonder they went under.
Yeah.
I don't know what else they pay, but...
Yeah, right.
Mate, back in that mid-90s, the Group 18 was so strong. There were so many ex-Seagulls and Queensland Australian schoolboys playing just local footy and, man, it was red hot. It was really good.
Yeah.
So I'd come down from playing from Brisbane and it was like, shit, this is good.
Yeah, okay.
Wow. So, and then I decided that's it. Nah, stuff this hospitality bullshit.
Yeah.
And I was at the Parkwood Tavern with a mate and he goes, why don't you join the cops? Because he was a cop. And I went, never thought about the cops, mate.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, we play footy and, you know, you'll have time for this and if you have a good OAC, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I go, nah, mate, I'm not, I've never thought about it. I'm not into that shit, you know.
Yeah.
It was after the 5th or 6th schooner. I said, mate, if I say that I'll do it, can you just shut up? Yeah. He goes, good. I said, okay. Rule is, I'll apply. If I get in, I get in. If I don't, I'm not going to apply again, okay? Yeah. Just shut up.
Yeah.
I'm sick of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that just shut you up. He goes, yep, I'm happy. And I got in. So
yeah, right.
got in and I went, oh, okay. What do I do now? Fuck. So went back to Brisbane, started playing footy with brothers again.
Yeah.
Halfway through the year.
You're posted in Brisbane as a cop?
No, I went back to the academy
and
I was waiting to go in.
Okay.
It was like a couple of months.
Yep, got you.
So I went back playing for brothers and I was, it was like second half of the year. I probably played a good handful of most of the year and, bang, I got an elbow straight in the same fucking eye again. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and when I was 19, like I had an eye patch and my coach, Trevor Bailey at the time, he called me Cyclops. So I was known as Cyclops. And then, 4 years later or something, I was Cyclops again.
Right.
Like, here we go. Jesus, I'm done.
Wow, same eye. Same bloody eye.
But I managed to get through the police training and all that sort of stuff with managing my eye. It sort of came back good. And I could tell which one was...
They knew about it, obviously.
Oh, I didn't tell much. No.
Yeah, right.
Probably wasn't as honest as I should have been, you know?
Yeah.
Because I do know they take easy options out to go, no, you're out.
Yeah.
So I just shut up and got through it.
Yeah. I can imagine an eye would be like a pretty critical thing to have right in your health too. Maybe more so today, probably.
Yeah, well, a lot of people did say that I was a one-eyed supporter or a one-eyed copper that only saw one.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got in and absolutely loved the academy. Geez, it was fun.
Yeah.
Really had a good time.
Yeah.
And, there was a couple of blokes that I knew from school that I didn't know were in it, and they were in my class.
Yeah.
And, mate, we had fun. We were just laughing all day, and I think I needed the structure too, and I really took to it, and I loved it.
Okay.
So, I've done my 6 or 7 months, and they said, okay, put in your preferences, and lo and behold, I got Gold Coast, didn't I? I said, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
And that was in about, when was that?
So it was April 97.
97?
97. I sort of moved down here and moved in with a few blokes, sort of moved around a bit, as you do when you're sort of trying to find your feet. And then opening came up down at the barracks at Kira, which was at Hague Street. And, it was, maybe 10 blokes, 2 in a room, and just one of those old school units with the long driveway with the balcony up the top.
Yeah.
And it was old as shit, but geez, it was fun.
Yeah.
We played cricket every afternoon, and we're at the Kira Hotel. Then we were surfing. Then I was playing footy, and Narang had actually bolted by that time in the A grade, and I knew a bloke from Brothers that was playing for Chugan, so I went down to Chugs, and I spent the next 3 years there and had a great time with Chugan.
Yeah.
One of my favourite memories of playing footy was Chugs down there. It was a good club, very good club.
Yeah, right. Okay. And so you're a police officer, what were you, you were playing a lot of footy? Is it just weekends and that's what, that?
Yeah, well, my sergeant was an old Brothers player as well, and the OIC said he remembered my dad. So I was in the good for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the sergeant was also involved in police footy.
Yeah.
So he was trying to get me through all the police footy stuff as well.
Right.
And the roster clerk, whenever she was doing the roster, I would make sure that she'd have a cup of tea and some Tim Tams, and with a list of whenever my next 4 games were.
Right.
And it just seemed to work.
Yeah, right. That's right. It goes a long way, mate.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
So, mate, I was absolutely loving doing that, and and on the flip side, whilst all of that was happening, I met a young. Well, she wasn't young; she was a bit older than me, and her name was Karen, and she lived out at Mudgeeraba, and she was. So what was I? 24, 25 or whatever, and she was 30, and she'd had a marriage breakup. She had a 4-year-old boy, and I was pretty smitten with her. She was that sort of person that when you walked into the pub and walked into a restaurant or whatever, everyone stopped, and I felt so proud. It was like, wow,
yeah,
look at this. Everyone's looking at her.
Yeah,
and she'd play along with it. It was awesome, but came back to me, and we were pretty solid, and we actually I ended up moving in with her. So I went from being in the barracks, living a bachelor's life, to picking up Lego after dinner and putting kids to bed. But it was a good kick up the arse that I needed. I needed to grow up. I was 24, 25, and it's like, this is life. This is it.
Yeah.
This is pretty good. I've got a beautiful woman, wonderful house out at Mudgeeraba, I really know. I remember I didn't unpack my bags for ages because I didn't think that I was going to stay.
Okay.
But it just happened and happened and happened and happened, and I never left.
Yeah.
And we were forging a pretty good relationship. We went over to Bali for a holiday, and we were going up to Noosa. We did all these different things, and going pretty good. And
for how long? How long were you together for?
18 months.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so mid-98 through to 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So things were going really well. And I ended up getting Broadbeach as my permanent station, so that was pretty cool. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Especially driving from Mudgeeraba through Robina and that way. And I've actually thinking, in the meantime, I'm playing police footy, I'm playing A-grade footy on the Gold Coast. I made the Australian side, in 98 we toured England for a month. In 99 I made the Australian side and we toured the US and we played the Tomahawks at Philadelphia, and that was an amazing... And I'm pinching myself going, I never planned any of this, and it's just all fallen together and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Magnificent. And, you know, so the story goes is, if you remember New Year's Eve, 1999, Y2K, Millennial Bug,
Yeah.
you know, that was supposed to be the end of the world.
That's
And
right.
We've heard a few of those conspiracy theories since, haven't we?
Yeah, that's right.
But we were young and we fell for it, and you
Yeah.
know, we honestly thought it was going to happen. And being 2.5 years in the police, I was still walking the beat. I was still green. I was still learning my trade. So I knew that, you know, I was always going to I had to work that night. I was doing a 10p to 6A, but the blokes who are the coppers had to go to work, and all the women, the wives or the girlfriends, they went to Melbourne. And so that was okay, you know. I was going, yeah, everyone's got to have their good time, and I just didn't like the fact that I was working, you know, on such a good night.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the loudest I've ever heard coming from the apartments. It was just mayhem.
Mm.
We went to dinner before we went to work at Tony's Italian place, and he always used to do the amore and all that sort of stuff. It was a really good place. And I remember I had one of my old Nokia 6110s or whatever, and it felt like I did a pocket dial, and I thought I'll just clear it and lock it. You had to do the enter and star or something bullshit like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So I remember going, I'll just clear it. And I looked at it and it had 666 on it. And I just made a joke and I said, hey, look at this. I just got a message from the devil. We are all going to die tomorrow. Okay? Yeah. Have a good night tonight and make it your best one. And everyone laughed. Everyone went, yeah, whatever. Because I think no one really believed anything was going to happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, you know, Karen had gone out and she had a great night with the friends at Melbourne's, and I found out she'd had a half an ecstasy tablet, and I wasn't aware of it really, but then I found out and I said, yeah, I'm not going to be angry with you, but just keep in contact with me, let me know that you're okay, blah, blah, blah. And she messaged me every 30 minutes. She was fine. She was great. Everything was good. I picked her up at about 6 o'clock and we went home. I dropped a friend home. We went home, had, you know, bit of toast and a cup of tea, and, you know, I had to work at 4 in the afternoon, so by this time it's, you know, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. It was like, my eyes are hanging out of my head. Mm. And I said, let's go to bed. Yep, perfect, let's go to bed. So we're both in bed together, and I woke up about an hour or two later, and I heard the front door open, and it was Karen's ex-husband dropping over the 4-year-old boy. And I went, I didn't know we were having a young fella today, but anyway, no problem. So anyway, I got up and I said, what's going on here? She goes, I fucked up. We were supposed to pick him up this morning and I forgot. I totally forgot. I said, well, not to worry. He's here now. Happy days. No issue. And anyway, but she was sort of going, no, I've been a bad mum. Like, that's really bad. It's stupid what I did last night and blah, 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 blah. I went, no, don't worry about it. You know, you are a great mum and it's no issue. You know, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're coming down obviously, and you need rest. Yep, let's go to bed. Put a movie on for the little fella and locked all the doors, and I know that when I hit the pillow, I was asleep immediately. Mm. And I woke up, it was about 1:30, and I could hear the young fella sort of going, Mummy, where are you? Where are you, Mummy? And I sort of woke up and went, I'm so tired. I've got to go to work in a couple of hours, man. This is killing me. And that's the beauty of shift work and shit. You just never get enough sleep. And I sort of got up and I said, okay, let's go and find her. Let's go find her. And I rolled over. I remember rolling over and it was cold. I went, oh, she's not there. And I picked her up and I was just trying to keep him happy, and I said, is she in this room? No. Is she in this one? No. And he was giggling and all that sort of stuff. I remember looking at the front door and it was just a little bit of a jar, and I went, I don't remember that. Has she gone somewhere? But then I saw her keys and a purse on the kitchen table. I went, oh, no, she hasn't gone anywhere. So we'd gone around all the way up the house, and downstairs was where the laundry was, and there was also like a guest room where we had a bloke staying down there. But he had gone away for a couple of weeks. So there was a laundry, but there was just a bed. And so I said, oh, let's go downstairs and see if she's doing the laundry. That's what she's doing. She's always making things clean. She's always washing for us and blah, blah, blah. Went down the back steps, opened the door and saw her. And she'd used a white electrical cord, put it through the rafters and wrapped it around her neck, and she was just there staring at us.
Bloody hell.
And yeah, it fucking...
You had the young fella with you.
Yeah, it knocked the fuck out of me. My first thought, I didn't want him to see that. And I threw him out and slammed the door. And that's when things just went fucking pear-shaped for me. I collapsed. My legs gave way. It felt like someone had fucking hit me that hard that I couldn't breathe. And it just opened up my chest. And I couldn't breathe. And I was trying to yell and I was trying to scream, and I was like, oh, fuck, I was fucked. Finally got my shit together because I knew I had to get there, because I thought, no, I've got to save her. So I've run over and I've picked her up and I'm doing this and I'm going, fuck, what do I do now? And I'm trying to get it all around from her neck, but you know with the electrical cords how it gets all caught and it just doesn't move. It was like I needed another hand, but I wasn't going to ask Clark. So I was like, fuck, what do I do? I'm screaming, I'm yelling. So I went, I'm going to have to put it down. So I raced back upstairs, got a knife, cut the cord, put it down, unravelled, started CPR. And at one stage I thought I'd got her back breathing, but it was just my air going in, going back out. And I still don't remember to this day how long I did it for. It could have been 2 minutes, could have been 2 hours, I don't know. Somewhere in between, but at some stage I decided, fuck, I better go and find out what's going on with the young fella. You know, we were on a quarter of an acre, and it was a bit of a bushland at the back as well. So I thought, fuck, I better go and check him. So I went out there, and yeah, he was just standing against the wall. He was fine, had no issues. But by that time, I'd felt her neck and I'd seen certain things, and I went, there's nothing more I can do. And I don't know what to do with him anymore, so I'm going to pick him up. We're going to go out the front. We're going to call the ambulance, call the police. Ended up calling my workmates that I was about to start work with, and that was pretty hard having to tell people that. And I remember the ambulance. You know, I heard the noise for so long. And I think I found out later it was like 4 or 5 minutes to get here, but it felt like 3 hours. It just took forever. And I don't know what I thought they were going to do, but I just needed someone with me, because I didn't know what to do. You know, and yeah, and that was the day that turned my life on my head, basically. By that time, I'd made all these calls, and before you know it, it was like the whole street was like a movie set. There was every known first responder you've ever seen, friends, family, there was just hundreds of cars, and I'm just walking around in a daze, like, what the hell's going on? And still to this day, my memories of what happened that day and who was there, I've now found out is different since I've started writing this book, where I've said, to a mate, you know, remember, you probably don't know this, but you know, when I was this and I did this, and he goes, mate, I was sitting next to you all day. I went, oh, fuck, I don't remember that, man. I'm so sorry. Things like that. And I go, man, the brain does some fucking weird shit to you. So...
How old were you then?
I was about 26.
About 26.
26.
Yeah,
she was 31.
Yeah.
And, my mum and dad, I rang mum, and she was beside herself. It was awful to having a ring my mum, and I remember ringing, it was the landline, the old, no one had mobiles back there, really.
Yeah.
Especially not older people.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, your father's down the bowls club. Okay. I said, I don't know what I'm ringing you for. I don't know. Anyway, before you know it, it felt like they were down there within 30 minutes. And I think when Dad would have found out, he just went, I don't give a shit if I've been on the beers, we're down there.
Yeah.
And, had to go through all of that bullshit I went back down with the ambulance and the undertakers, and being a copper, I knew what happens, and I wanted to make sure they did everything perfect and treated her with respect and all that sort of shit. And it was a pretty tough day. It was a fucking shit day. And so I went back to Brisbane with Mum and Dad, and I was just looking out the window the whole time, just in a daze, like, what the fuck has just happened? This doesn't make sense. To me, it was just like a dream. Every day I woke up, that didn't really happen. No, it didn't fucking really happen. But you get reminders as soon as you wake up. I had Karen's phone, and it was constantly ringing. People that may or have heard something or hadn't heard anything and just wanted to talk to her. So I had to give them the bad news each time, and it was constant. It was like, fuck, this is killing me.
Yeah.
And so that was basically the start of, prior to 2000 was fucking awesome. And in one day, your whole world can be fucking shattered and you got nothing to live for.
So that was the day after New Year's.
It was New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1100.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Everyone's recovering from New Year's Eve. No one died apart from her.
Yeah.
And that's what I said at one stage. I said, I thought we were all supposed to die today. Only one of us did. And, just fucked. It was fucked. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
So that's young too. Like 20, not that living that experience is better at any age, but it's 26 is still so young.
I felt young, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt quite naive.
Yeah.
In terms of, I was a private school boy, hadn't really had much wrong going on with my life.
Yeah.
There was no trauma, there was no dysfunction. Almost perfect family, as I said before.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
I really didn't. So what I did was fucking drink myself to death.
Right.
That's the only way I could process it.
Deal with it.
Or to get, well, it wasn't to process it. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep because of the nightmares. I was constantly seeing her next to me with the news, crying, blaming, all that sort of shit. And I just couldn't deal with it. So I would try and drink myself to oblivion, sleeping tablets, cannabis, anything so I didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And it worked, but it didn't really. It worked initially, that I didn't have to experience those nightmares, but it just delayed them, really.
Far out. Mate. And because I read, was like part of writing this book, I think you wrote that it was quite cathartic for you.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of healing?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ran from it for years. I pushed it down.
Yeah.
I thought I was stronger. I thought I was,
Yeah.
I'm a tough footy playing
Yeah.
copper.
Yeah.
No, I've dealt with it. No, I've put it to bed. I've got a new life now.
Yeah.
And almost 20 years of the day, it sort of comes back and bites you on the arse and it says, hey, you haven't dealt with this, motherfucker. Get into it.
So how did you deal with it? Like was it the book? Was it writing the book? Like
it was a major part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not, I haven't done it 100% yet,
Yeah.
I'm on the path to it and it's fucking, I feel really good.
Yeah.
But the turning point was hitting rock bottom, again.
Yeah.
For I don't know how many time. But that was and then my mum passed away. And that was a bit of a wake-up call for me as well.
Yeah.
She was in her late 70s and I'd seen my mum and dad sort of deteriorate, from 75 or whatever onwards, and, their days revolved around doctor's appointments and, not much fun in life, really. It was a lot of ailments, and you're going to funerals every month now, and, these are the people that I grew up with, and that was my uncle, my auntie, my friends that we'd been going to barbecues since I was that high, and it sort of made me start thinking, unless you're extraordinary, your 70s are going to be where things are going to start slowing down. Mm. And I felt the last 25 years, I sort of went, I've been walking with this massive backpack on my back in mud, not getting anywhere, just feeling like, the world's against me, things are shit. And I made that decision. I said, my next 25 years, my only next 25 years is going to be the best ever. Mm. And I'm not going to keep doing this. And I think that was the kick-ass where I went, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do this shit anymore. Yeah. So I'm going to tackle it head on, and I'm going to fucking rip in and go, that's it. And I don't know why I decided to write a book, but I ended up resigning from the cops after 27 years, and that allowed me the freedom and the time to do it as well. Mm-hmm. And so when I started writing, I couldn't stop. I did my first draft, and they call it the shitty first draft, in 6 weeks. I just didn't stop. The whole process took 2 years, but I got it all down without a full stop, without a comma, without nothing. Mm.
Wow.
Just in 6 weeks. And I was 6 in the morning till 6, 7, 8, 9 at night, and I couldn't wait to get back to it the next day. And I was ripping into it. I was loving it.
Good on you.
And at one stage I said to the editor, I said, mate, when do I stop? And she's actually said, there has to be a time where you've got to stop. Because I said, I just want to keep doing it.
Right.
And I said, I've done that, but that's like a quarter of what is in my head.
Yeah.
So she goes, oh, you got another book then? I went, oh, we'll see. So she did the whole cut it here and let's work with that.
Yeah.
Okay? Everything else we'll worry about later.
Okay.
So that's when I started writing, and I went, okay, yeah. And I couldn't believe the stuff. Some days I was bawling my eyes out. Other days I was laughing my head off and remembering things, and I was going through old diaries and recordings and all that sort of bullshit, and just to make sure that my recollection was right.
Yes. And
it's fairly close. Yeah, fairly close.
Okay.
So so going to the next stage of this is, I moved back to Brisbane, had 3 months off, which was good and bad. I moved in with my sister and her husband, and they had to go to work. Everyone goes back to work once you have the funeral, once you have all that sort of stuff, all the condolences and everything. Yeah. And when the noise stops, that's when it hits you, and everyone goes back to their world. Is there anything more I can do for you? And you go, bring her back, maybe? I don't know. There's nothing more you can say. It's like, and everyone has to go back to their work.
Yeah.
But then I sat by myself at home in my sister's house, just going, what do I fucking do? And I noticed each day, earlier and earlier and earlier, I started drinking. Right. Because I was just sitting there by myself going...
Were you still playing footy?
No. No, I didn't want to play footy. I wasn't interested. I hated footy. Hated everything. I was so angry at the world. And I was drinking from 6 in the morning till whatever, until I passed out. And that was the only way I could deal with shit. And I just got angry. I got into fights. I just wanted to hurt people, and it was fucked. It really was fucked, because it's not the best way to fucking look at things, because I wanted people to feel the pain that I was in, which is not the fucking right way to think when I look back now. But I remember that thinking. I remember it specifically. I just wish people could understand the pain that I was in. I've reflected for years over it, about what I did right and what I did wrong. And the majority of that in the book is about what not to do, not what to do.
Okay.
It's a map of things of try and avoid, So what I did was I drank, took drugs, and engaged in reckless activities, just went fucking crazy. So much so that, there was a sliding door moment, same bloke that I had a beer with at the Parkwood Tavern. I was at Dooley's in the Valley, because I was just a barfly. I was just drinking. And I heard his voice next to me, and I was like, "What are you doing here? Hang on, you don't look right." He had dreadlocks, he had eye rings, he had fucking all this shit on him. And he goes, "Mate, I'm undercover." I said, "You working?" He goes, "No, not tonight. We're just having a night off. Here, the boys over there, coming over and have a chat." Oh, okay. I looked over and I went, "Holy shit, they're a fucking feral bunch." And I was a little bit scared. I went, "Fucking hell, Jesus, what are they going to do?" Yeah. So I went over and I listened to all the stories, and I was just like, oh. And I said, "I've got to do this. I've got to do this." And they said, "Well, we actually got a course in a couple of months. You should apply." And I did, got in and did the 4-week course, and next thing you know, almost 12 months to the day of Karen dying, I joined the undercover unit, and they gave me a new persona, new identity. "Your name is now Donny Wilson. You're now going to infiltrate drug cartels and gangs and syndicates, and we're going to bring down people that we've been trying to get." So I went, "Yep, fucking sign me up, let's go."
Wow.
Because I didn't give a fuck, I had nothing to live for.
Yeah.
And I went, "Let's do it." I grew my hair long, had long goatees, I had eye rings, I had all this sort of shit, and I could be reckless. I could be so fucking reckless and not get sacked.
Yeah.
Buying drugs, fucking driving in stolen cars, and buying stolen gear, and just being feral. It was fucking great. It really was good for me.
Yeah, right.
When I look back now, it's probably not textbook that a psychologist would say that's the way that you deal with the suicide of your girlfriend. But for me, it allowed me to let my hair down, literally.
Yeah.
Where I could feel Donny Wilson was a person who could just not have a care in the world.
Do you think it masked you from being and feeling what you like
Absolutely.
yourself? Yeah.
Yep.
So you created another persona that you could just step into and be someone else, and that
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to go back to being Todd, because Todd still had to deal with all the other shit with her family and estates and all these other things, man.
New identity.
Yeah, and it was like, I just want to be Donny. Donny's got no care factor.
Yeah.
He's a lunatic. He does stupid shit.
Yeah.
And Donny was, and I talk about Donny as a third person because he really wasn't me.
Yeah.
He was someone that was pretending to be me, getting through the trauma that I experienced. And Donny was so fucking reckless that, if someone said, "No, mate, don't go through that fucking, don't knock on that door, mate, you'll get a shotgun in your face." Fuck, I ran to it. And I'd open it without even knocking, and there was a fucking shotgun. It was like, well, fucking do it. And I think my attitude at the time made people, the crooks, think, fuck, he's a lunatic. He's obviously not a fucking cop or whatever,
Were you off the rails?
Yes.
You were?
100%.
And the cops didn't know that then, or?
I was good at hiding it. I was good at masking it to everyone. But when I had my time to myself or away, I'd go on benders, big time benders.
Fuck. Keep going, mate.
I talk about it now because I'm not proud of it, but I'm trying to set the scene as to what my thought process was back then.
Yeah.
I was only probably a month into being undercover.
Yeah. How old were you roughly at this time?
By this time I was
Late
about 30.
30,
yeah. 29, 30.
Yeah.
And
And where were you undercover here still?
No,
they send you. Yeah, obviously because you so many connections.
yeah, Gold Coast, they said, no, you won't do that.
Yeah.
Everyone knows each other down there.
Yeah.
So Gold Coast was my sort of getaway.
Okay.
Weekend if I needed Todd or Donny to go and play up even more.
Yeah. Okay.
Crazy Horse got to work out. I can guarantee you that.
Far out.
Billy's Beach House, all those fun places back then.
Yeah, back then. It was pumping back then. Yeah.
Yeah, and what were we up to? I remember.
You pretty much just gone undercover.
So my family decided, it might have been my 30th.
Okay.
decided to put a dinner on for me. And I was 3 days deep into a bender. I hadn't slept. And I was just
Drugs and alcohol? Just alcohol?
maybe. I don't know. I can't divulge.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I used to be able to try and just get anything to avoid me. I don't care what it was. Just give me it. And I wouldn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
As long as it makes me forget shit.
Yeah.
And so I knew it was... I was at some pub at the Paddo with other undercover blokes, and we were playing pool and just... everything was so... I was still so blind. And I remember just looking up at my sister, and her husband was just sitting there going... Dinner, we're going. It's your dinner, come on. I went, nah, I don't think I'm in the right fucking shape for this shit. Anyway, she's going, well, everyone's going for you. I went, oh. So as she left, I raced down the street and jumped on the bonnet and said, yeah, I'll come with you, fuck it. And as I got there, I was fucking blind, and I was swearing my head off, and I was being a dickhead, and I was obnoxious, I was an arsehole. I was giving everyone a spray. I was giving the waiter a spray. I was giving people that sitting over there a spray. There was kids everywhere, and I couldn't be controlled, and they didn't know what to do with me. My dad, my brother, and they made a joke, and they said, because they didn't know what more to do, because I just wasn't listening. And they said, okay, so if you keep swearing, Todd, we're going to have to fine you $1. Okay? Each time you swear, just cut the swearing and just lower it down a bit, please. And I got my wallet out, and I had $5 grand in my pocket because I knew I had to do a drug deal at Cabo later that week. And I just got it out, and I threw everything on the table. Like hundreds just went everywhere. And I said, well, that should fucking cover it. And I turned the table up, and I fucking walked out and told everyone to get fucked.
Wow.
And I've replayed that in my head so many times going, what a fuckwit I was. But the feeling that I suppose I'm setting the scene because that's not normally me. And that was me reaching out with pain and didn't know what to do. And I don't know, I can't explain it any other way. But I've apologised so many times to all of them, and, they're my family, they love me, and I'm still embarrassed about it. And I didn't know whether to put it in the book, but I went, you know what? No, I'm bearing all. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not just going to put the good bits in. I'm going to put the bad bits in too. I wasn't perfect. Far from it. So.
You think like you crossed into the persona of Donny? Was it like when you were in that, you were that guy back with your family? Is that you were just living in that persona of Donny? You didn't turn off?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I think it was more the anger at the world and pain.
Yeah.
Just trying to... I still hadn't processed it. I hadn't worked it out.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand, going through the whole thing of, the suicide of the why, that why thing fucking kills you. That's one thing I write in the book. I went, acceptance. I just have to go, I'm never going to find the answer. She didn't leave a note. Nothing. I still don't know why. Was it me? Was it her? Was it someone else? Was it... Don't know. And the more I think about it, the more I try and find answers, the worse it gets for me. So I went, I've actually got to just put this to bed.
Yeah.
I've got to just go, she's done it. And it's her choice that she did this. This had nothing to do with me. You're only 2.5 years in the cops. She was very good at hiding it. Don't blame yourself. Don't... all of these things. And I went, okay, so I processed that and I worked it out. I went, okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. And then you just have these moments when you're lying in bed and you go, okay, so I'm now happy that that was her choice, that she did it. Hers and hers alone. And you're at ease with that. But then your fucking voices in your head go, so she'd rather kill herself than be with you. And then you go, oh, how dare you say that? Fuck. And then that just hits your self-esteem and you go, oh, fuck, how do I deal with that now? So you're constantly processing all of these things that just keep coming into your head.
Do you still do it now? Or
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
No. I've made peace with it all, and it is 100% her. I had no input, and I'm not going to accept anything otherwise.
What was that realising factor for you? That was it time and just
time
and telling yourself and just the rationale of just going through it over and over and over again?
Yeah, time and different therapies and different things that I listen to, and people telling me certain things and convincing me.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I eventually believed it, and it's the best thing for me because you can't hold that guilt. It kills you. It fucking kills you. So, yeah, many things to process, and then the next thing I do is become Donny Wilson, and even though it was great, as I said, Donny was an undercover cop with a Deathwish. He was trying to get himself killed. When I started writing it and talking about it with my family and friends, I said, fucking oath he was. And I got pretty upset when I really thought about it. I went, fuck, I was. I was that reckless, I was that fucked, that I was just doing the most stupidest things. And I remember thinking to myself, I didn't want to die, but I just wanted the pain to stop. And I was never going to do it by my own hand, against it. I saw what Karen's suicide did to both sides of the family. It really tears families apart. And I wasn't going to do that. And I thought to myself, okay, well, if I die on duty as an undercover cop, fucking, hey, that's a bit of honour.
I'm a hero.
Yeah. And
did your family know you were undercover?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. They asked no questions, but
Okay.
it stressed the fuck out of my mum, I know that. And at least I thought, I'll get a boat named after me and they won't have to pay for my funeral. How good's that? Instead of some stupid fuckwit that fucking necked himself.
Right.
That was going through my brain at the time. I remember it specifically.
Yeah.
And that really has come through with some of the stuff that I'm writing there. Like, I had machetes against my neck, shotties against my head, revolvers around my head. I had a $100,000 hit on my head from a Vietnamese triad because I smashed up their place after buying some heroin. And like, each time I was going, fucking bring it on. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I had, and it scares the fuck out of me now because I'm totally the opposite now.
You feel safe now?
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
So this was 2001 and 2.
Yeah, okay.
So the majority of blokes that I probably dealt with back then were a little bit older than me. So
yeah.
And they've spent many years in jail.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty happy that they, I've said a few times, they didn't get me the first time, so not going to get me the second. So.
Yeah, right.
And most of the blokes can't fucking read anyway. So.
Right. Yeah. Where were you? Can I ask where?
So my first job was and this one we'll do the war stories, Yeah. A lot of people love the shit,
Yeah.
And first I did 9 months in Caboolture, so
That's pretty close to home.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it was an eye opener, Caboolture. Right in the depths. I started off, the street dwellers, and I moved all the way up. Took me 9 months to get the big dog, and I did get him. So it was pretty cool. But fuck, it was a lot of hanging out in the gutter and doing some fucking shit stuff to get there. One of the stories I say, it just blew my mind. It was one of the very first things that I did in the job was I worked out this couple had links to whatever. So it was like, okay, I've got to start with this person, And his name was Marshall and her name was Crystal. And the reason why I called him Marshall, because that wasn't his real name. And I called her Crystal because she fucking loved the crystal. So all the names are changed in there. So there's nothing that's even remotely similar in terms of names. But the stories, if they read it and sort of put themselves in the position, go, I think that sounds a bit was that me? Or, but they were probably second guessing and go, I don't know.
Yeah.
But everything's went through court, so it's all public record anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And I didn't give away any methodologies for how police do the things or, it was very generic.
Yep.
So I'm at his place at Caboolture, and all he had in this old shit weatherboard house was his mixer in the middle of the lounge room or dining room or whatever, and he just loved playing, and all he played was Eminem.
Right.
2001, it was...
Yeah.
And I still can sing every word of every...
You can?
Yeah, because I was there for that many times.
Yeah.
And he played the same thing over and over and over. And he played it that loud that you could hear it as I was driving down the street.
Wow.
And I was like, can we get on. Because nothing would work because he had the music was up so loud.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, let's go. So jumped in the car with him and his missus. And what they gave me was this old yellow Holden Vacationer, like an 82 model or something.
Okay.
It was fucked. It was
Yeah.
one of those ones where it takes ages to...
Yeah.
But the pride and joy about it was I had moo cow car seats on the back, and mate, that fucking gold. It was so good. And I was pretty protective of them.
Yeah, right.
And I'd have tape decks, and I'd put, I'd make up music and put it in the tape deck, and I'd fucking... Everyone knew the yellow Commodore banging around Cavo with the music blaring out. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always Metallica and Slayer and all that good shit.
Yeah.
And anyway, we're going down to Debo to buy some fucking speed, and he goes, got to go in the bank, got to get some money out. So we dropped in, and back then, 2001, you had to do fill in the teller slip and give it to the teller and whatever. So he's over there, and you could see him getting a bit irate because he had a really short fuse, and like it almost looked like he was going to fucking clock the teller. But he comes fuming, flying back, and he says to Crystal, "Did you take any fucking money out of our account?" And she's going, "Well, I had to buy fucking groceries, She didn't even get the words out before he knocked her out.
Oh.
Put her on a fucking back and I'm like, holy fuck. I'm a man, I'm a male, I'm a copper.
Yeah.
I have to help her. Hang on, no, I'm Donny, I'm an undercover cop. I can't do that. Like, that just played with my head. It was like, fuck. So I went, I'm an undercover cop.
Yeah.
I'm Donny.
Yeah.
So I fucking reached down and I said, "Don't fucking do it again, you low mole," or something like that. And he goes, "Come on, Donny, let's go in the car." Start the car up. She comes running back out. She's got blood coming down her mouth. "Oh, I'm so sorry, fucking blah, 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 blah." She'd had a really rough life. I felt really sorry for her. She didn't know anything different. That was normal for her. So anyway, we picked up some speed, and next thing you know, they haven't even stopped the car, and they're buffing up. "Oh, the feel for steel. Fuck, how good. Are you gonna have some, Donny?" I said, No, I'll bomb it with some Talios, and I don't like the needles. Fuck that shit. And it must have been good because they just fucking spinning, fucking. They're going, "Oh, right here." Then she starts dry reaching, and I'm going, "Not on those fucking car seats, you motherfucker." And like she's got. I said, "Don't you dare." So I've jumped out of the car. I said, "Get the fuck out. Spew in the gutters,
Yeah.
And fucking as I was doing that on the other side, he's jumped in the driver's seat, locked the fucking doors, and let's go. And like he's flying. He's like going, "Jump in, everyone. The stolen car's fucking ready to go." Like fuck, he was like losing it.
Yeah.
I've ran around to the driver's seat. I said, "Fucking get out." He goes, "Nope, jump in, Donny, or you're going to miss the bus." She's jumped in the passenger seat, and I'm going, "Fuck, what do I do?" I've dove into the back seat just as he's taken off, and he's driving it like he stole it. He's going down one-way streets the wrong way, clipping fucking cars, and they're screaming at each other.
Yeah.
And I'm going, fucking hell, man, this is out of control.
Yeah.
And I'm getting thrown from side to side to side to side. But I'm worried about where this fucking dirty needle is. I'm going, fuck me, this is killing me. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And like, she's yelling at him going, slow down. And he's going, fuck off. And then she's going, no, fuck it, go faster, fuck, watch out for that car. Like, and they were just going at each other.
Wow.
And then it was like, no, but I love you. No, fuck you, fuck. Man, it was just, I was like, holy fuck, what's going on?
Yeah.
And this fuckwit has just pulled out a fucking hunting knife and then slammed it into her knee because she wouldn't shut up.
Oi. God.
Wow, didn't that just fucking change things? Jesus. He slammed the brakes and then started crying, what have I done? I love you, honey, man. That was my way. I got out, got him out of the driver's seat, and I said, get the fuck out. And he's going, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that.
Wow.
I'm off my head, fucking. And I got her out. You know, she still got it there. Like, I said, don't touch it, just leave it there. And I jumped in the driver's seat and I said, I'm fucking out of here. So I rang me controller and I said, can you get an ambulance and some coppers here straight away, please? It was like, welcome to fucking Cabo.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
Well, at least I know what I'm fucking dealing with now.
Wow. Far out.
Yeah. Like, coming from a private school, you know, having that, I'm going...
Was that the first, like...
That was probably the first
pretty wild, incident.
There was one a little bit earlier. It was nothing major. But, you know, I had an informant who was introducing me to everyone around town. And he said, oh, let's walk through this shortcut. And it was a cemetery. And I went, oh, fuck, you know, it was just on sundown. And, you know, there was 4 fucking blokes that jumped out behind some trees or whatever and wanted to roll us. And no, not that day. Donny was not in a good mood.
Was Donny, did any inspiration come from Donny Brasco?
No. Well, that was the name that was given to me. So
Right.
it was Donald Wilson. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
When I sort of looked over the story and then the name, like Donny Brasco.
Yeah.
Mate, what a freaking movie that is with Johnny.
Man, that's out of control what he's did.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Far out.
And that was, you know, when I was going through undercover training and everything, you watched every one of those movies.
Okay.
Yeah, and you took bits from that, you took bits from that, and
Yeah.
took bits, and
Yeah.
and I took a bit from Donny Brasco of this later down the track when I was in a bikie clubhouse, and a bloke from Tugan grabbed me and tried to, you know, say hello to me, and because I'd watched Donny Brasco, I just, it was in the back of my head. I went, oh, he grabbed me on the balls. That's why I had to knock him out.
Right.
So yeah, you just took all these things and you stored it in the back of your brain for whenever you needed it.
Yeah.
And whether it was from a movie or you just thought about it or whatever, as long as it worked.
That was from that moment. Was that like a close call where they would have revealed you personally, not like, so were you in there and they recognised you as Donny or they recognised you as Todd? Was it? Do you know?
Yeah, I jumped a bit there. I'm sorry. It was just a one-off night where, you know, the bosses said, we need you to go into this bikie clubhouse on the south side of Brisbane. Yeah. It's a pretty easy night. We just want you to observe and just see what's going on. Is there this going on? Is this going on? And just find out who's there. Yeah. More of an intel-based thing. Yeah. It wasn't dangerous, but you're still going into that sort of territory that you're just unknown. And I remember knocking on the door going, fucking hell, this could be anything, you know? Mm. Yeah, I remember this bloke, about 5'10", 6'10", he's like, what do you fucking want? And I went, oh, isn't there a party tonight? He goes, fucking oath there is, get in there, you know? I ended up having a great night. It was fucking such a good night. I really had a good time.
Yeah.
You know, I remember, you know, with all these blokes that were so much bigger than me. You know, I was just under 6 foot and 110 kilos, and I felt like just insignificant. They were fucking big motherfuckers.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, at one stage we had our arms around each other and we were passing doobies down the bar and having a chat and having fun. Yeah. And I was going, I can't see anything bad going on here tonight. It's just a good bunch of blokes. Yeah. I was playing pool later and a bloke come over and he goes, mate, hey, Toddy, how you going, mate? I'm going, who the fuck are you, mate? And straight away I was like, oh. I remember he played for Tugan. He was a winger, reserve grade. I went, mate, I'm Donny, mate. I'm from Sydney. I have no idea who the fuck that is. Yeah, mate, I remember you playing for fucking Jigs. No, mate, where's Tugan? What are you talking about? And it was almost like the music stopped. It didn't really, but it felt like it.
Right.
Because you were waiting for this situation to happen. And he's going, weren't you a cop back then? And it was almost like the music stopped. And I just went, fuck. So I don't even remember the decision why I did it, but I knocked him out.
Right.
And then that's when the music stopped. And it was like, fucking hell. And I went, okay, time to go. I'm out of here. But my controller and stuff were down, probably a kilometre down the road at a shopping centre. So I had to leg it down there a fair bit, and I was busting for a piss too. So I thought, I'll go and have a quick leg, and then I'll get out of here. These bikies come into the toilet and basically say, hey, what the fuck's going on out there? Why did you do that for? That's my brother. I said, mate, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that was your brother. I said, mate, and I got it from Donny.
Right.
He grabbed me on the cock, mate. He's a puff. They went, it's not our brother. We're fucking giving you a hard time, you know.
Fucking hell.
And there was a few things happening there, and I told them that you're right under arrest, you know, provide your own handcuffs and making them laugh and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, you know, so I solved one problem with violence, and I solved the other problem with talking my way out of it.
Yeah.
So you just had to just be ready for anything to stay alive, really.
And it's pretty risky though, having you so close to home. You know what I mean? Like doing stuff here on the coast. Like even back then, it would have been even smaller than it is now.
Yeah.
Like, did you spend a bit of time off the coast as well? Like,
yeah, I never did a job on the coast. I did Caboolture.
And even still, Caboolture's close, right? Like it's even back then. Like it's small, you know.
Yeah, I did Caboolture. I can't remember the chronology. But I know that I went to Bundaberg.
Okay.
And there was a backpacker, a UK backpacker named Caroline Studdle, and she'd been murdered. She got thrown over the Burnett Bridge, and so I went up there to, you know, try and get involved in the world up there and just see what I could find. And these two names kept coming up that they were involved in some way. They were near the bridge, they were under the bridge, on the bridge, something. They just happened to be speed dealers as well, and, you know, they were buying and selling guns, and so, you know, I got introduced to them. But what had happened was the boss had said, mate, there's too many connections between Cabo and Bundy, so you can't be Donny. You've got to be another name for this job. I went, what? And I said, yeah, it's almost been 12 months. I'm used to Donny. I answer to Donny. I turn around Donny, you know, because it takes a long time. You might be in a pub or whatever and, hey, Donny, and you're going, you've got to, yeah, what is it? And similarly, you can't go with someone goes, hey, Todd. You go, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
So you really got to train yourself that way. And I've pretty much fucking nailed it. I'm going really well.
Yeah.
And they said, now your new name is Jason Reynolds. I went, oh, fuck. So I called myself Reno. But that's when things really started turning to shit. You know, I was drinking a bottle of rum a night, diazepam, cannabis, just to go to sleep. And it was just fucking with my head. You know, I was seeing shit in the middle of the night. There was things in my room. There was things next to me in the bed, and my body was just rejecting it, and like I was shaking so much. But I wasn't scared, but I was just, something was happening. I don't know what it was. But these particular fellas found out that they'd robbed a gun shop, and they had a bag of guns. So they said, you know, Reno, go back and sort this shit out. So I went to their place, and what I used to do was, I never carried a gun because that gives yourself up. So I always carried a knife, and it was a Japanese throwing knife that I put underneath my jeans. and it was just clipped on the inside, and I'd pull it out and throw it if I needed or fucking use it. But it was really sharp, and I kept on. Whenever I practiced, I'd always, take the top off my thumb because you did it at the sharp end, and so I went over their place, and I hadn't met the other fella yet, but I knew the other bloke, like the main fella, and there was a full story for that as well, which you'll need to read in the book. So anyway, I've opened the door. I knocked on the door, opened it to a fucking revolver. What do you want, cunt? And I go, fuck, really, again? Lance has come out and he's gone, hey, that's Rene, fucking troopy, fuck off. Get in here. And he's like, and we're just looking at each other going, fuck you, cunt, fuck you. Don't you do that to me again. As soon as he's put the gun down, I've fucking got him up against the wall. I said, don't you ever fucking do that again, cunt. Because that was a natural reaction. I became part of that world, and that's how you do it. And anyway, that whole time, I'm talking to Lance, he's just looking at me going, you're dead, cunt, you're dead. So I was fucking loose as well. So I pulled out my knife and I've gone fucking bang. Just missed his head, went against the fucking wall. And I said, lucky I'm a fucking bad fucking shot, mate. Went up, got it out of the thing and I gave it to Lance and I said, mate, what do you think of that? He goes, fuck me, you're a mad cunt. And then the other fella's just gone, what the fuck? And I said, mate, have a look at this. And as soon as I gave it to him, he's gone, you're giving it to me? Almost like that's your only weapon. I went, yeah, I trust you, man. Like, fucking all good.
Yeah.
And I said, mate, have a look at this. It's fucking sharp. It keeps, look at that. I've got blood fucking everywhere coming off this thing. And I said, matter of fact, you got a Nico? Get a Nico. So I got a Nico and I drew a target on the wall. I said, let's fucking play games. So we're doing like darts with it.
Yeah.
And it became really good. Like all three of us got involved and it was fucking funny. And I sort of went, okay, time to hit him. I said, you can have that. What? What do you mean? I said, I need something better. Like what? I said, bang, bang. They looked at each other. You got a car? I said, yeah. Let's go. Okay. And like I'm going, oh, fuck, I can't even tell my controller that I'm going. And I had no surveillance or anything, so they said, just start driving. And they had a police scanner. And they were just looking at me going, and I'm feeling like fucking, this could be good or could be bad, I don't know. But you got to, it's the job I signed up for, give it a go. Got nothing to lose. But that's where I noticed, that's where I was really fucking hitting rock bottom because as I was driving through the main street of Bundy, I saw who I thought was Karen.
Right.
And I've just gone like that. And I've stopped the car, opened the door, and just started running into the pub that she went into. And like you could hear the.
This is when you were en route to get the guns.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So to me, they're going. To them, I've lost my fucking head. I've raced into that pub and I said, "Where was that girl with the black hair, dark hair?" "Oh, over here." She was an Asian lady that looked nothing like Karen, but I was seeing shit. And I wanted to see it because I believed it. Anyway, I got back in and they go, "What the fuck are you doing, motherfucker?" And I said, "Oh man, it was a backpacker that I fucked. Just made up some stories and started driving out. We're going down towards Maryborough and there was pine trees down there and they said, yep, turn left in here. In between the pine trees, it just got darker and darker and darker. And I can go, oh, this is probably not a fucking good idea." Especially when I got, they said, pull up, and then a bloke pulls out from behind a tree. I went, yep, fucking set up. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. They must have rung ahead or something. Some bloke's either waiting or he's been sitting off it all day. I don't know. Anyway, that was Kev the head. He had a massive head. That's what I called him. That's why I knew, okay, this is not looking good. And I went, no, that's what I've been waiting for. Who gives a fuck? But then I had this second thought and I went, hang on, what if I never get found? I'm a missing person. That's it. I could be buried out here forever. So I had a recording device going and I'm talking into it, saying, if anyone ever finds me, it was this person, and this person. It was on this date and we're doing this and doing this and doing this. So, and they're going, what are you fucking talking about? I'm going, I'm just fucking talking to myself, all that sort of shit. And whilst this is happening, Lance is walking around behind every fucking pine tree. No, it's not here. It's not this one. I'll look at another one. And I was like, went for 30, 40 minutes. I was like, no, not this one. And I go, fucking just put me out of my fucking misery. Jesus. It's going on too far now,
Yeah.
And anyway, you hear this, found it. I went, okay, that could be bad or good. Because I hadn't heard what he was doing up there. It was like 100 metres away.
Yeah.
And they're going, come on, let's go for a walk. We'll go and have a look. I said, okay. And as we're getting behind the tree, close to around behind the tree, I closed my eyes and I went, just waiting for something. There's a ditch, a grave or fucking something. I would have got something in the back of my head. But so I went like that. And I opened my eyes and there's a bag of guns. I went, oh, fucking thank fuck.
God.
And they said, oh man, we didn't know where it was. We thought it was here, but I'm not sure. And they go, which ones do you want? I went, all of them, because I had to try and get them all back. And I went, no, you can't have them all. We've got buys
How many
for
were
most.
there?
22.
Okay.
Yeah. And I said, well, I'll have those 2 Rugers, which were the 2 that I ended up doing a photo for later.
Yeah.
And so anyway, everything's fine because, I said, how much is that? They said, 1,500 each. I went, yep, good. On the way back, remind me to go to the ATM. I don't have that sort of cash on me. Yep, but music's up. Everyone's in a fucking good time,
Yeah.
The whole feeling just changed.
Right.
So much so that when I pulled it back to their house or their unit, and I went, oh, fuck, I forgot to go to the ATM, man. And he goes, oh, how much you got? I went, 300. He goes, that'll do. I went, okay.
Yeah, right.
I went back to my boss and I said, you wouldn't believe how hard it was for me to talk him down. It started at 3,000 and I bartered. I was always trying to save money for the organisation.
Right.
But I ended up turning to shit that one because there was a dodgy copper from the drug squad that came up and stuck his nose in and was telling people that I was an undercover cop. So he'd burnt me.
Right.
And it was pretty shit. So we extracted the informant. He went into witness protection. My controller said, pack up your bags. We're fucking leaving at midnight tonight. Fucking pay your rent. We're getting out of Dodge. Fucking out. So I go, yeah, happy days. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. And I went over to his place and he said, we're driving home. Let's go. We're going convoy. Don't lose each other. And he goes, hang on. Do you reckon you remember where the guns are? I went, in the dark, it's going to be hard, but I'll give it my best shot. Yeah, took a while, but we fucking found it.
You got it?
About 2 a.m. Wow.
It
was even fucking scarier at 2 a.m.
Yeah. What, so just the 2 of you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah, so I found it. So everyone was happy because we recovered the guns, so
Far
job
out.
done.
That's crazy. Fucking crazy. Shit. Wow. Was there ever a time where you grew quite fond of someone undercover?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're a good bloke. They're just stuck caught
Heaps.
in the wrong situation or
Heaps.
circumstances.
Yeah. I got a different view on drugs. It should be a health issue, not a criminal issue.
Okay.
A lot of addicts are calling out and screaming out for help through trauma. And that's what I find through my journey. I've realised that. And it's something that we need to look at very differently, I think. Obviously, the price of drugs, the addiction that they have.
Accessibility.
Yeah. Yeah. So this particular fella ended up doing a job in the valley, and it was, the beat, the family, all the, the techno sort of pretty good, cool places.
Yeah.
But I was still looking like a piece of shit. I was like a bikie type thing, and they just wanted me to go into these things and try and want to find out how many pills were around, because, you know, start of 2000 was when pills really hit the scene, and our bosses had no idea about them. It was like, we need to know more about this. Are they everywhere or are they not, or blah, blah, blah. And so I've gone in there and I went, my first night, fucking no one, nothing, you know, because I didn't look like someone that would take MDMA. You know, I was probably more speed or heroin. I went, yeah, maybe, because I look like a bit of a shitbag.
Yeah.
And so I came up with a decision to go, okay, I think we need a girl. I need a girlfriend to come in, and it'll be more approachable doing that way. So I'd sit in the corner drinking Coronas, looking like that fucking weird motherfucker in the corner, and she would just hit up everyone. Yeah, and she was a good-looking girl with big tits, and she rubbed it all over them. And, you know, the first night she come back, she goes, I got 400 fucking pills already. It was like, fuck.
Wow.
It's like they're everywhere.
Wow.
And so that became our mantra. You know, we became boyfriend, girlfriend unofficially through the job.
Yeah.
Even though we had our respective partners, you know, we had to pretend to be boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
We even had an engagement party at Kangaroo Point.
Holy shit.
With all these people back at our unit.
Wow. The both of you were undercover. Yeah, wow. Wow. And you had partners.
Yeah.
How do you refer to it, like in your normal life? Is that how you refer to it? Like you had, so you were undercover, but then you'd go home from work, your personal life, did you have partners?
Yeah, each of us did, yeah.
Wow.
But
did they know?
Yeah. I was always 100% up front.
Yeah.
But we had a unit at Dockside, and that was where I lived most of the time, and that was our assumed residence together, which we brought people back and partied, and then we had a party there for our engagement.
Right.
So part of that job was end up befriending this fella by the name of Lorenzo, and he was a really likeable fella, and he'd fallen on hard times. He'd just broken up with his wife. He had 2 kids. World's worst fucking drug dealer, because the first fucking, you know, drug deal he did was to, you know, my girlfriend. Oh, fucking poor fucker.
Right.
Yeah, you got to be pretty bad if your first deal is to an undercover cop. You know? It's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
He had a lot of things. There was just a comedy of fucking bad things happened to him, and he was going through a bad time, but we'd spent a lot of time with him, and I genuinely liked him as a bloke, and he would always have coffee, would have drinks, would meet up, he'd introduce us to this person, and when it came to the end of it, you know, he got arrested by the detectives and got told that Donny and Liz were really not who they say they were, and were setting you up. And it made me feel shit, really did. I didn't like it. But I suppose the only way, you know, hazards of the job, I mean, I knew that sort of shit was going to happen. So much so that, you know, it was a while later when he was looking at going to court, going to jail, because he was pinched with trafficking of MDMA.
Right.
And he's rung me, and I hadn't heard from him since the arrest. And I'm thinking, here we go. He's fucking pissed, and he's gonna, you're a fucking dog, narc, fucking. I went, okay, let's get it out of the way. Let him have his fucking spray. I've had it before.
So you took the call?
Yeah, I did, yeah. And I went, hello? And I could hear him crying. And I'm going, oh, well, there's no yelling. That's good. And he goes, is that Donny? I went, yeah. What are you up to? He goes, mate, just tell my wife and kids I love them. I can't go to jail. I went, no. No, you're not fucking doing that, man. No way in the world. He goes, yeah, man, I'm not going to jail. I said, where are you right now? Where are you? I'll come there now. And he was over at a New Farm, Brunswick street type thing, and he was standing on the edge and he was going to jump. And I said, no, just wait until I get there, please. So I was at West End and I raced over, so I was pretty quick. I found him, saw him there. He's just looking over, crying. And I said, man, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. You're not doing it alone. I said, let's do it together. And he's gone, what? He was in such a state, he didn't know what was going on. I said, okay, 1, 2, 3, let's fucking do it. And he's gone, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I said, mate, I'll fucking do it with you. I don't give a fuck. And I was bluffing him, I think. Yeah. And then next time I went, come on, let's fucking do it. If you're going to fucking do it, do it. Don't be a weak cunt. Yeah. And he's just yanked me back, and we both fallen on the grass. And then we both started crying our fucking heads off, and then sat on a park bench, and we probably talked for about 3 hours, and I actually told him about what happened with Karen. He sort of said that he didn't want to miss his kids fucking growing up, but he can't go to jail. And then that night, I sort of went, fuck me. I think that's the way I've been living, And it was my first time when I really had that moment where I went, I don't want to fucking die. What am I doing? Like, that could have just happened today, and what he's talking about, his daughters and his friends and family, I don't want to put them through it. And that was my first night where I went, fuck, I've got to stop what I'm doing. I really do. And that was probably 18 months into being undercover.
Right.
So I only had 6 months to go. So I was pretty glad that that happened. And I remember talking to him at one stage, and I said, what'd you fucking call me for? He goes, you're my mate. I don't have any other mates. No one that I can trust like you. I went, trust like me? I was the biggest betrayal of all trust. He goes, no, but you're just a genuine bloke. He goes, I don't give a fuck about that shit. I went, so that was tough because I genuinely liked the bloke. He was a good fella.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I helped him. And he's still alive now, so.
Okay. That's a win.
Yeah, so.
Far out, man.
That was a good one. But I really, I look at that now, and I'm embarrassed about doing that. But.
That's interesting. Did the cops provide counselling through that period of time?
Yeah, they did. You had to do psychometrics tests and drug tests all the time.
Yeah, okay.
Just random ones.
Yeah.
And if the psychometrics test came up with any abnormalities, go and see the psych.
Yeah.
And I actually played a game on them, I reckon. I thought that I was, still to this day, so going in, psychometrics was fine. Halfway through, was fine. Almost near the end, was fine. And then at the end of my 6 months reintegration, when I was trying to get back into real world, I remember thinking to myself, I'm actually going to be honest for the first time ever because I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, you just seen the red lights, the fucking sirens. Jesus, you need to call this person immediately.
Yeah, wow.
Because I'd done it that many times. I knew what the right answers were.
Yeah.
So, one of the questions is, would you prefer the sight of holding a beautifully made handgun, or would you rather read a well-made poem? Which one are you reckon you're going to take?
Yeah, wow. You think it'd be a little bit more advanced than that, right?
Yeah, well, and it does, but that was just one example I remember going, okay, I'm going to go gun today. Fuck you.
It must be so hard, mate, to go in, because you have to just commit completely to a character.
And I loved it because I wanted to be that.
Yeah.
Donny was my escape.
Yeah.
And I loved being Donny.
But then to come out and turn off from that and in your personal life, your family and Yeah, it was. It'd be tough.
Yeah. I remember sort of the very last job I did was in Sydney, and I wasn't real sure about doing it. And they said, okay, well, you've got a couple of months left to go. You can either finish up early and start your reintegration, or you can do this job in Sydney. And I went, I don't want to finish this shit. This is fucking awesome. Because I was loving it.
Is it long? Is it the stint for undercover work? How long?
2 years.
That's it?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think you can do an optional one extra now.
Okay. But yeah, that's
2.
Yeah.
I can understand the theory behind it, but in terms of being good at it, you only started getting good at it, you know, in your second year.
Right.
When you really were walking the talk, and you know, you were just fucking smooth, and everything was working. So they said, oh, you can either go back and start your integration in uniform, or there's one more job we want you to do down in Sydney. I went, fuck yeah, I'll do that. They said, oh, hang on. It's on cops. I went, yeah, no, I'm not doing that shit. No.
Oh, on the show? No.
No, so on New South Wales Police.
Oh, right.
I went, yeah, no, I'm not doing it on other cops, man, no way.
Shit.
So anyway, they said, oh, have a read of this, you know, the file first.
Yeah.
And essentially they had a pill press, and they were punching out shitloads of pills, and they were in cahoots with some of the bouncers at Surrey Hills nightclubs and stuff. So I thought, you know what? Yeah, they're not fucking cops. They're drug dealers in blue uniform. Like, and I didn't really want to go to reintegration, so I went, yeah, I'll take this. You know, they put me up in a high-rise in the city, gave me a BMW. I was buying 1,000 pills at a time, in strip joints every night, parties on the harbour, and you know, in super yachts, and like
Sounds
fucking
tough.
just living the life, going, I don't give a shit as my fucking grandma I'm fucking doing, you know, fuck, this is too cool.
Yeah. Shit.
But and if you read the book, you'll see, you know, the cops that I ended up meeting that were doing it, you know, they picked me straight away. And, yeah, and then they sort of got me in the toilet and said, fucking, you know, pop a couple. No, I did. Had one of the best nights of my life. And but yeah, the next day it was like, no, we've been listening to phones, and mate, they know you're a cop. Fucking, you're on the next flight back out to Brizzy. So
Right.
yeah, pretty disappointing. So I finished that, and then they said, okay, well, have a couple of weeks off, get your hair cut, have a shave, get all your fucking piercings out, and rock up at Crime Stoppers at 8 o'clock on Monday morning. I was thinking, 8 o'clock? How the fuck am I got to get up at 8? I haven't been up before fucking probably 10 or 11 for 2 years. They said, well, no, this is all about you getting back into structured life again. I went, geez, I'll do my best, but can't make any promises, mate. So I've rocked up. I made it about 9:30, so I was impressed with that. But the senior sergeant's gone, you're fucking late, Maquire. I went, yeah, mate, did my best, you know. And I borrowed a shirt. I didn't have a belt. I looked like a homeless bloke that'd stolen a uniform. It was fucking awful.
Right.
And he goes, so what, you know what Crime Stop was asked? I said, yeah, answer phones and whatever, yeah. I said, okay, well, get into it. Just start answering phones, write things down, and if there's anything in it, send an email to the detectives with that information. Yep, cool. Sounds pretty easy. One of the first phone calls was just a annoying, insipid little fuckwit that just started going, I just want to report my next door neighbour smoking drugs, you know, cannabis. It's wafting over to my house and I don't like it. And I'm still in that mode, and I went, are you fucking serious, you dog cunt? Are you fucking snitching on your next door neighbour? How about you just worry about your own fucking self? And I'm ripping into him, still in Donny mode. And the senior sergeant comes running over, grabs the phone, and he goes it to another lady and goes, Donny, let's go for let's go for a walk down the road. And I'm still fucking fired up going, don't they know the fucking rules, these fucking cunts? So when I look back, and he goes, mate, we might get you to do some filing for a bit, eh? How's that? Don't answer phones. He goes, yeah, you got to really, this is going to take a while, this one.
Did it take a while to adjust?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
I was used to, you know, being so much into the persona that whenever I saw a cop car, I'd give him the finger, you know, I'd fucking swear at him, and because that's what you did. Yeah, it was all part of it. But yeah, it took me a while to get back in, but you know, I started back as a detective then, and then you know, life was good again. So you know, I met a young lady, Peter, and you know, within a couple of years we got married and had a son. And before you know it, I was back being a family man. But I felt like I was a bit of a caged tiger. I was working in the Valley CIB, and you know, I'd get the 707 train with my newspaper, and I'd sit there with everyone else with their suitcases. And I was like a time bomb. I was like, I can't do this shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. It just wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
And that's where I started noticing, you know, I'd be good for so long, and then the time bomb, then I'd go on a bender for another 3 days, get out of my system, feel sorry for myself, go back to being the best husband and dad in the world, but it would just be like a time bomb again because I just can't live this normal life. So I noticed that as the years went on and more things that I did for myself, that stretched out longer and longer between each time.
Mm-hmm.
And it still happens now, but it's a long way in between.
Right.
So I still feel that's just part of a little outlet that I need, maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But I notice, you know, it used to be 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. You know, it's now 1,000 steps forward and 1 back.
Yeah.
And it's a hell of a lot better. And writing the book, being around people that, you know, understand my journey and understand grief and trauma really helps me. Because for so many years I hid it, obviously hid it, and I didn't want to talk about it because I was embarrassed. But the people that I sort of were hanging around didn't really know trauma either. So it made me feel like I was different.
Right.
And I'd have to say that since the advent of social media, podcasts, all these things, connecting to people around the world that have similar stories just started resonating with me and I kept nodding. Oh, that's what I've been feeling. I've never heard anyone talk like that before. And then there was another one. And I'm just getting filled with all of these things of, I've put that to bed because I thought I was weird. Fuck. That's normal, is it? Holy shit. And the more I read, the more I listened, the more I found out more, and I'm going, hang on, I'm not a fucking as much as a weirdo as what I thought. So it actually made me feel much better about myself because it made me understand why I was behaving the way I was doing. It still didn't it explained the reasons, but it still, to me, I still wanted to make up for it. I wanted to make up for all the bad behaviour I'd done. Because over those years, there's still stuff that I probably don't know that I remember that I've done. You know, I would have been blind and I would have punched someone or hit someone, and I still wouldn't remember. I still don't know.
Okay.
Because I know a few things have happened, you know, recently where people have said, "Oh, do you remember you did that night?" I went, "No." And I was angry. I did stupid shit, and it's an explanation for it, but it's no excuse for it. You know, I still got to own my behaviours and work that out, and at least I understand it now, and I can do something about it, and I do, and I've worked on it, and with my wife now, you know, Donny has become, you know, Donny's become something where my wife will say, "Are you going all right this week?" It's almost like Donny's sort of popping his head up again. So it's like, it's a bit of a analogy for my PTSD type thing.
Yeah.
And it's enough for me to go, oh.
To be aware of it.
Oh, okay. And then I'll have a really good think about it, and I'll get better sleep, or I'll work on doing something else to, you know, do more exercise or fix something. But I notice sleep is my number one thing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, 27 years of shift work knocks you around.
Right.
But then on top of that, you know, having all those sleep issues really takes a long time to get over. So I worked out if I sort my sleep out, my mood is so much better every day.
Donny doesn't come out.
Not as much. No. So
that's cool.
There's a bit of a joke that's always sort of come between all of my friends is, you know, when you're at a fork in the road and you don't know whether to go the good way or the bad way. And you go, what would Donny do? They go, well, Donny would go the bad way, obviously. Well, don't fucking do that, then go that way.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good frame up, actually. I've never heard it.
So whenever you're in a quandary and you don't know what to do,
Yeah.
ask yourself, what would Donny do?
Yeah.
And don't do that.
Don't do that. That's great. And so what's has this pushed you into a mission now in your life? Like what's your message now for everyone?
My message is the fact that, you know, I ran from it, I hid from it. I thought I was a big tough man, you know, type shit. No, it just sits and waits if you don't deal with it.
So how do you deal with it? Like I feel like there's so much rhetoric, like
I know,
you know, talk
it's
about
tough.
this and there's so, but like if someone's gone through something, because they probably will try and brush it off to get through the day too, right? And just go, no, I'm good. I haven't got shit to deal with.
Yeah.
But like, so how do people sort of deal with stuff?
Yeah, no, I honestly don't have the answer because there's not one size fits all.
Okay.
I would have to say that the first thing would be is just not keep it to yourself.
Okay.
At least find a trusted person. You don't just blurb it out to anyone because there's some people that can't handle it. And if you tell your soul, you know, pour out your soul to someone who's not equipped and they shit themselves and they piss off, you're just going, I can't believe I did that. I'm never going to do that again. And it's a tough one. It really is a tough one. I don't have the answer for it, but I've been talking, you know, being involved in footy, you know, I've been coaching ever since I stopped playing footy. And I sort of tell the blokes, I was coaching, assistant coach at A grade up at Clown Sharks last year, and you know, I was sort of saying to the boys, you know, if you have an injury on the weekend, you know, if you break your leg, there's a bone sticking out, would you tell anyone? Oh yeah, I've got to go to the hospital, get it fixed. And then what would you do? You get it pinned, plaster, and then you'd let it heal, recover, and then you do some physio and strengthening around it. Okay, so if something traumatic happens to you, that's a brain injury, same as what you just had down there. Are you going to tell anyone? Probably not. And that's my mission, is to make that the same as what it is for a physical injury on the footy field. We should not be ashamed of it. You know, it's something that can be fixed and can be fixed pretty easily if you deal with it straight away. Because I say, okay, so if you didn't tell anyone about your broken leg and you just pulled your socks up and started playing again, how would you go? Well, I wouldn't be able to run. I said, well, that's the same. It's the same shit. You can't live your life unless you get it treated and deal with it. And I don't know what the best way to treat it or deal with it is, but at the very, very, very first stage is just don't keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Because the more it sticks in your head, the worse it gets. I know that, you know, when I start talking about things, as soon as I verbalise it, okay, that's not as important what I thought it was in my head. And it's not. As soon as you blurb it out, and then you listen to yourself going, wasn't that bad? Wasn't that bad? One thing I love about the book is that I initially wrote it for myself, selfishly, to help me. And it did. Since I've got it out, the amount of people that have messaged me and said, yeah, everyone's got a story. Everyone does. And so many people have been touched by suicide, and it's just such a hard way to navigate the grief and the whys and how comes and all that sort of shit. And so many people said, man, you don't know how much that has helped me. I was crying with it. I was laughing. I was nodding. I was going, yes, that's me, that's me, that's me. Again, it's that acceptance of the feelings that you have is not fucking wrong. It's right. It's normal.
I'm not alone.
Yeah, yeah. And my book has also become a bit of a conversation starter. You know, I've been around blokes who I consider fucking absolute weapons on the footy field that would just snap any bloke in half. And, you know, I've given them the book and they say, oh, what's this about? I tell them, bit of silence. And I remember thinking to myself the very first time, fuck, I'm going to get a spray here. he just looked up and he gone, oh man, I need to read this. You have no idea what's going on in my life at the moment. And just blurbed to me. Started crying. He goes, fuck, man, it's so fuck, yeah. I went, wow, that is so cool. We're at the pub, and that's not something that we would normally talk about. Because we weren't best friends, but we knew each other. But the fact that he felt comfortable that I told him and I was quite vulnerable to him, he did it back to me. And I went, wow, this is fucking powerful. It's happened numerous times now. And I went, so there's actually more, there's more to this book than just fixing me. And for the first time in 26 years, I now finally feel that Karen's death was not in vain. It wasn't for nothing. It's actually helping someone and helping a lot of people. And it makes me feel fucking even better. I love it.
That's awesome, mate.
Yeah.
Far out. Mate, look, mate, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story today. And gosh, I feel like there's so much more as well, right?
Oh, it's heaps.
We'll have to do another one, mate. But no, mate.
Thank you, because I released the book in February, and I've been doing podcasts, and every podcast I do, I say, I feel like it's another therapy session, and it makes me feel better every time I talk about it. And sometimes I think about other stuff that I've never said before, and I go, wow. So each podcast I'm doing is almost like helping me even more.
Yeah.
So I love talking about it, because for 20-something years I didn't fucking open my mouth about it.
Yeah.
And I said, well, someone has to fucking put their hand up and do it.
And do it.
And then I realised I'm the one with the story.
Yeah.
The person I've been waiting for years is fucking me.
Yeah. Mate, you're such a great storyteller as well. I was in the zone with you there. And just for the listeners, I ordered this book probably a little bit too late, and but Todd's actually gifted me one. So, mate, I actually can't wait to dig in and read this. And so I would love to read this, and I'd love to get you back on some other time, mate. And we'll get back in.
You can ask me about certain things, and you go, "Oh, what about this?" Yeah.
Yeah.
The majority of there's so many people that have sent messages, mainly blokes, where they've gone, I've not read a book, since I was at school 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And they said, could not put it down, and I did it in 2 days.
Yeah. Mate, can't wait.
I said, well, I'm just a dumb old footy player copper. There's no big words in there, man.
Yeah. No.
Easy to read.
Yeah. No, mate, I genuinely can't wait. And for listeners out there, the book's called Donny, an undercover cop with a death wish. And you're literally standing there with 2 cannons across your chest, mate. And what's the dog in the background?
So the dog is the representation of that black dog that was pinned up against the wall, yeah.
Yeah, right. Is that you?
It's a version of me.
It's a version.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know who was going to walk in the door today, actually. Yeah. No, mate, thanks again for coming down, and appreciate it. And everyone, thanks for listening, and we'll get you back soon, Todd.
Yeah, cool, mate. Thanks, you.
Mate.
Appreciate it.
Awesome, mate.